Okay, peoples, let's get to talking because I'm already sweating and we need to get through this so I can turn my fan back on. Alright, so today I'm filming on my phone. Sorry if the quality of this video isn't up to par, but your girl, the clumsy ass person that I am, broke my camera stand, so I can't use my camera. I have to use my phone, so sorry. And I'm sitting down, I'm super comfy, but today I want to talk about specific tropes in books that I like, and I don't even know if these are considered tropes or like plots, but you know what, it's fine. So I'm gonna talk about 5 tropes that I really love in books, and if you have any suggestions for books that follow any of these tropes, I would greatly appreciate them because I need to fill up I need to fill up these spaces. I still have space on my shelf, so I would love to fill them up with more books because, you know, in this community, we're all about consumerism. Let's get into these tropes. Okay, so the first trope that I like a lot in books is when two characters that don't like each other are forced to do a project together, whether it's like work related or like school related. Like if it's, you know, two girls that are from different sides of the school spectrum and they do not like each other and they're forced to do a project together, or like two co-workers that are forced to do a project together. I love that trope because you get to see their relationship build together, you know, especially if they don't know each other. One example of this is when Dimple met Rishi, but it was more of like a creator summit and they had a project they had to do and their parents tried to set them up and the female MC didn't know that she was being set up with Rishi, so yeah, and they ended up having to do their project together, and so that was just like hilarious to see. But I love when two characters that either don't know each other, don't like each other, or don't even speak to each other are forced to do a project together, because you get to see them build a relationship, you get to see how they work well together, they learn from each other, and it's like, I don't know, they just get to see life a little bit differently. Like within that book, the person that they're working with shows them specific things that they normally wouldn't see, and I just like seeing that. It's just like, just gives me all the good feeling. So my second favorite thing is like when there's a fantasy or magical type book set in like the modernized world, where there's like iPhones and computers in the mall and like the TVs and stuff like that. Like I just like to see that incorporated. Even though Holly Black is not one of my favorite authors at all, that specific setting is what I like in books, is when they have like a magical system set into like our time, like our current time, like 2000s, with iPhones and cameras and TVs and just like stuff that we do in day to day, and just like people that are on the fantasy spectrum coming over to like the human side of the world and just like seeing how different things are. I really like seeing that because I just think it's funny. And it would be pretty cool if it was like actually a thing, but we all know like it's not gonna happen, so just gotta read about it. Another trope that I really like is when I don't even, you know, if I'm wrong, because I feel like trope is like a specific definition and I'm using it incorrectly, but if I am, you know, just go with it. We're just gonna ride this video on out. It's fine, just go with the flow. So another thing that I really like is when there's a character that's really passionate about their career, or they have like something they're really good at and they don't get the proper recognition, and you just like see the way that they fight to get to where they want to be. Like if they're a cook and they really want to be a cook but they're working a job that they hate, or they're an artist and they really want to be an artist but they're working a job they hate. Like I like to see how passionate they are with their creative craft or with like what they love to do, and the fact that they don't give up on it. Like I really just like to see that, and then I like to see through their eyes how things work. Like I just love characters that have, I really like the ones that have cooking though. Like the cooking ones are really my favorite, because like the way they explain everything and then the way they work through things. Like one example is Heartless. The Red Queen in this book, she's a baker, and I really loved just hearing how she explained everything and how she detailed everything when she cooked, and just how passionate she was about it, even though everyone was telling her, you can't do this is not what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to follow that. Like I really just like to see the creative spectrum put into books, because it just like, you know, gives you hope to keep your dreams up. And aside from that, I really just like to see their creative passion and their art through their eyes. You know, it's just different. I really like it. Yeah. I like that. So if you have any books that you want to suggest that have like cooking in it, especially cooking is one of my favorite. Also like technology or like fashion, anything like that. If you have some book suggestions that have that as the character's like, you know, trope, vibe, whatever, then definitely give me some suggestions down below. Also, while you're down there, make sure you follow your girl on Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, and give me a like, give me a thumbs up. If you don't know what to say in my video, make sure you put a little heart. The engagement still counts, and I really appreciate it. Another thing that I like in books is when you have a really powerful character and they lose their power. Like, I love to see how people function, and like, especially if you're shown how powerful they are in the beginning of the book, and then like within the book they lose their power and they have to function like a normal person. I love that. I love when that happens, because it's like they have to learn not to lean on their power, and they have to figure out other ways to maneuver throughout that world or whatever. And a good example of that is To Kill a Kingdom, which is one of my favorite books that I read so far this year. And one of the MCs is a siren, and she's really powerful, but when she's taken out of the siren world and banished by her mother, and she's set on a pirate ship, she loses all her powers. And I just like to see how she learns how to function, and it's kind of funny to see them try to use their powers even though they're already gone, and they're just like sitting there looking bewildered. Okay, and my final favorite trope is if you have two characters that have two different forms of communication and they have to find a different way to talk to each other. Like if they speak different languages, or one of them is hard of hearing or deaf, or one of them like is blind or whatever, and they have to find a different way to talk to each other and communicate with each other. I love that so much, because it really shows you that there's so many different ways to talk to people, and conversation can be universal. You have to find ways around it if you can't easily just talk to someone. And I just really like to see that. I really like to see, and I feel like with how hard they have to work to be able to communicate with each other, it makes the relationship stronger. And then I really love if they teach each other's languages to each other. Oh my god, that's one of my favorite things ever. Like, absolutely favorite things. Absolutely favorite. So that's my final one. But yes, let me know if you guys like this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what some of your favorite tropes are down below. And yeah, so that's gonna do it for this video. But it's getting hot, so I'm trying to wrap this up real quick because I'm sweating. I want my fan back on. But thank you guys so much for watching. Always remember, read a book, keep your life interesting, and follow me on Goodreads. Always remember, read a book, keep your life interesting, and I will see you next time. Bye.